Welcome to segment 2 of this show. And if you missed segment 1, I wore this wig. I know, wasn't it fashionable?
No, it was very fashionable. I mean, you pulled it out very well.
I can pull off any style here. Because it's my show here. So, a battle of the NFC North to start off this second segment. Green Bay against Minnesota.
I like this new thing you got here. This is helping a lot. Anyways, Minnesota coming off a big loss to Seattle. As again, Seattle the best team in the NFC. We didn't even expect anything else because Minnesota one of the worst teams in the NFC. Now.
I was about to say as expected.
Yeah, best versus worst. I was gonna come out of that one. And right now, this team is trying to find Adrian Peterson. He knows he cannot take the load himself. Like he seemed like he did last year. He carried the team on his back. This year, it was Tony C. I think it was last year you had. Or was it a couple years ago? That was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year.
And maybe last year was just his strength, all that strength and conditioning, all that rest he got. Maybe he got him enough power to do that. But this year he cannot do that. And I think Ponder is starting quarterback. If I was correct from last week.
Yes.
Yeah, Ponder is still the starting quarterback for the team, and he's doing an okay job, but not good enough to get this team anywhere right now. And then you have Green Bay, who right now is in a very big slump because they don't have a quarterback still in Aaron Rodgers, and they have, I don't know.
Scott Tolzien.
Scott Tolzien, is it?
Who? Scott Tolzien.
I never heard of him in my entire life, but.
And this is Green Bay fans right now.
Yeah. Anyways, Green Bay trying to find something to do here as they have been in a deep hole and trying to get a way to find a way back into the division because if you're Green Bay right now, you lose this week, you are most likely going to be in a 3-game hole in the division. And after a pretty big loss to the New York Giants last week, they have tried to get something this week, but again, I don't think they can do it against a struggling Minnesota team, even though they are struggling. I had Minnesota taking this one 13-10.
This one, yes. Oh man, this is a tough one. Surprisingly, I picked Green Bay to win this one 17-14. But this one could go either way because of the backup quarterbacks, pretty much. Even though Ponder is starting, he plays like a backup. I just think the Lambeau leap will bring them to a win. They're at Lambeau. I just think that will be the reason why the Packers win this game is because it's at Lambeau on the Sunday before Thanksgiving, which they play the Lions Thanksgiving. Anyway. Kansas City against San Diego.
Well, San Diego again last week. Another depressing game for them as they lost to a Miami team who I think they were winning maybe another game this season in the way that everything's going for them. But it looks like they shaked that off and got their win last week. And San Diego, again, an up-and-down team who needs to get something. They got to find something one of these years. Because right now, if you're Rivers, you cannot be happy with the way these seasons have been going. And I'm not going to lie, he is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in this league right now. But he just doesn't have any help. I think he does have help, actually, now because he got Danny Woodhead this year, who was huge. I bring that up every time. Danny Woodhead, he got Gates, and I got laughed from the crowd even. I know he had a crowd. Anyways, yeah, Rivers is just not getting production like he should on this team. This team, I believe, should be maybe they should be where they are in the division, which is 3rd, because two other good teams in the division. But I think 3 teams in that division should be making the playoffs each year as of right now. But again, Rivers struggling. Chargers struggling, I should say. Rivers.
Yeah.
And they are now playing a Kansas City team who finally got their first loss last week to the Denver Broncos, which I've been waiting for because, to tell the truth, I don't think Kansas City was an undefeated team. They were more like a 2-loss team coming at this point in the season. I feel like Because even though they have an amazing defense, their offense, I feel like, struggles at points in games.
Yes.
Where they need to improve on that before the playoffs is what I feel like. And after a loss, I feel like this is a good game for them because I believe they are going to get the win in this one, 20-10, and have some hopes coming back next week against a huge game against Denver.
You know, the Kool-Aid Man has done an awesome job so far in Kansas City. It was their first loss, but they played decently. They didn't play great enough to win, but they played a decent game against Denver. So right now, Kansas City fans are like, but after this week, they're going to be like, as they beat a struggling San Diego team 31-21, and San Diego fans will be like, basically.
I will admit, though, if they got hit Payne a couple times, I think they could have won that game, though. They would have gotten that backfield a little bit.
Yes, they're like Cole said, the defense is great, but the offense needs to improve, and that's what'll be the difference. Miami against Carolina.
Carolina, they got something going. I don't know what they've been doing, but Cam Newton finally is getting this team to a good spot. And I'm not going to lie, Carolina fans, this guy is a star quarterback in your team, and he has been doing a great job, and he proved it after beating New England last week. And I'll come more back to that for that New England game, because I have a little something to say about the end of that game. If you've seen it, you know about it. But I'm not going to take it away from Carolina. That was a great game for them. They deserved the win. Now on a 6-game winning streak, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And that is great. And Cam Newton, he played impressive last week. 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. I think that's the first time I've never seen him with an interception in my entire life. He usually does like 1 or 2 interceptions a game. And that one,
usually.
Under the spotlight, he showed bright in that one.
Yes.
And this entire Carolina defense, the defense as well for Carolina, making some big plays in that game.
I mean, just like the meme said, Steve Smith and Aqib Talib. Still a better love story than Twilight.
And they're playing a Miami team who also got a win last week, which I was quite impressed about.
Yes.
As they beat San Diego, like I mentioned a little bit ago. And they got that win and actually maybe clear their minds off this entire stupid case with the bullying case, which, I don't know, that seemed like it died down a little bit, so that's good for Miami there. And now they can actually get back to playing football. But yet again, this Carolina team has been tough these last couple of weeks. Since like halfway the season here, they've been tough. And I believe Carolina will roll away with this one, 34-13.
This one was a tough one, believe it or not. Most people are thinking that Carolina is going to roll away in this game. Man, this I have a hard time picking this game just because it's in Miami. Why is that? Because Miami, with the situations what they have. You may think I'm nuts, but I'm going to go with the upset. 27-24. Miami wins this game. I think Carolina's going to have a little bit of a hangover, but I think that this will just be a blip in the radar. I think it's going to happen right now that they're going to say, you know what? We're a team. We're real. We can't win 8 straight. But you never know. I hope I'm wrong, but I just have a feeling of an upset. I just have it. And as Cole knows, I picked a couple of good upsets last week.
Yes, you did.
So I might not just have my head in the water, but just remember, they've won 7 straight. You know? Baltimore against the Jets.
Well, the Jets, once again, had a letdown game as they took a huge loss to Buffalo last week. And
well, that was one of the upsets I picked.
That was one of your upsets, and I will agree that was a good one because I don't know. It depends how New York plays again. Again, they're an up and down team as well, and I've been saying this ever since they came to the show. They have been, and again, they looked great coming into the game. They had 2 games in a row and felt like, hey, maybe they got something going. Then Buffalo just takes them right out.
Mm-hmm.
So now this week they'll be playing a Baltimore team who, again, struggling as they took an overtime loss to Chicago after having a pretty good lead in that game before that storm. and finally losing in overtime. But I still had that feeling that Baltimore will have a little bit of a run at the end of the season because I truly think this is a good. It's a good team. I feel like they are a good team. They just aren't playing with the way they should. That defense is good. I still believe they are good, even without Ray Lewis and a lot of those players.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Buffalo will win. Not Buffalo, but Baltimore will win this game, 17-13 over the Jets.
I may not be correct, but how have the last 16 games been for the Jets? They've alternated wins and losses.
No, they won 2 in a row.
They won 2 in a row, but basically they've been around 500.
Now they gotta lose 2 in a row just to keep it even.
But
they messed with science, and now they gotta fix it.
They played awful last week, but believe it or not, this is another one that Cole and I are differently picked on. But I think the Jets win. I think they win 21-10. I have a feeling Baltimore will make that run. I just think it's going to happen in one more week. The Jets, once again, are up and down. Last week they were down. I think they go up. But who knows? Like we said before, anything can happen in the NFL. But one thing will happen, and that's segment 3. And that's coming up next.